everyone, this is Rachel. Thanks for clicking on my video. And I came in today to talk celebrity. And the celebrity that I wanted to talk about is Mr. Steve Harvey. In the last few weeks, Steve has been in the news quite a bit. With the stories about him moving his show and the letter that he sent to his staff. And back a few months ago, he was in the news concerning, going to see Donald Trump, y'all. But the story that I want to talk about that most interests me is this whole thing with his second wife, the one Mary Harvey. Um, just here recently, there was a $60 million lawsuit filed against Steve Harvey. Now, this lawsuit was filed not by a lawyer, but by a civil rights activist who has also been posting videos on YouTube. Now, Mary Harvey has posted a series of interviews that she did, and you can find those interviews here on YouTube. I did a series of videos myself concerning this whole issue with Mary Harvey and Steve Harvey. Now, y'all, because I've done several videos already, with the details of, what went down with Mary and Steve, their divorce, and how Steve took Mary's son from her. I don't want to go into that on this video. If you want to, find out the details, you can watch my video, and there's also several other videos. Miss Essie Berry has quite a few videos as well. What I wanted to talk about is this thing with celebrity and how it affects our judgment of these celebrities, as a whole. Steve Harvey has become very, very famous. And with that fame comes a lot of power, you know. And when I first heard about his second wife and all the details of what happened between them, I went into that whole situation thinking that she was just a bitter Betty, a woman that couldn't get over the loss of, her husband, her child, and, she was tripping. But as I did my research and looked into, the allegations she was making against him, I came away with a different feeling, y'all. And that's what prompted me to do my videos. Now, what I want to talk about is how when we hear stories about these celebrities, it's almost like the public refuses to believe them. We've heard stories about celebrities abusing their wives, celebrities cheating, of course, and celebrities doing all sorts of things. But for some reason, we as the public cannot see our favorite celebrity doing these things. Now, when I read these stories about Mary Harvey and specifically her filing this $60 million lawsuit, as I tell y'all, I always read the comments under the stories that, that are out there. And when I read the comments under the story, concerning Mary and the $60 million lawsuit against Steve, you know, I was kind of disgusted at some of the comments that people were making. And the reason why I was disgusted is because I felt like people did not even take a moment to understand what this lady was trying to say happened to her. They instantly took Steve's side on it. Now, don't get me wrong, there were people down in those comments, because I read several stories, that were supportive or at least questioning of, could this be true? But the majority of the stories were making fun of Mary. Now, that kind of bothered me because this happens quite a bit when a celebrity is accused of something. You know, Instantly people believe the celebrity. And it made me wonder, why do we do that? Are we saying that none of this stuff that people are accusing them of could possibly be true? We've had celebrities accused of child molestation, celebrities accused of drugging women and having sex with them, and people refuse to believe it. I don't understand that. I don't subscribe to that type of belief because here's what I say when I see a story like that. I start asking myself, is this celebrity so godlike that there is nothing that we believe that they can do wrong? Now, none of us know exactly what goes on in their lives. None of us know. We'll never know, you know? But when a person, a woman, a child, or this or that comes out with a story, we instantly say, just say the story says, I was abused by this celebrity, and the person goes into the story. Instantly, people say, oh, she's lying. She just wants some money. If a woman says she was raped, oh, she's lying. She just wants some money. If a woman says he cheated, he did this to me, he did that to me, oh, she's lying. She just wants some money. Whatever that person, the one who's not the celebrity, says, no one seems to believe them. And you have to ask yourself, are we so blinded by this title celebrity that we think they can do no wrong? See, that's what makes these people feel like they are untouchable, that they are godlike, and that they can run roughshod over people. And that's what's going on with Mr. Steve Harvey. Steve Harvey right now has reached a level of very, very high fame. He has all these shows, he has all this white money behind him. And I'm going to repeat that again, quote unquote, white money behind him. Now, the reason why I wanted to emphasize that is because it wasn't that white money that got Steve to where he is today. It's that black money that did. And what I mean by that is because when Steve Harvey was touring the country in little comedy theaters and doing comedy shows and HBO and his show, the Steve Harvey show back in the day, it was a lot of us that watched those shows that paid money to go see him. We supported him in everything he did when he did the Kings of Comedy. A lot of people supported them. And he grew to fame on the back of like the Kings of Comedy show. After people saw that and saw all those guys together, and then each of them branched off and started doing their own thing, we tried to support each one of them. Bernie, D.L. Hughley, Seti, and then Steve Harvey. Even though in the Kings of Comedy show, Steve Harvey was not the funniest, it was all the other guys. But we supported all of them. We wanted to see them win. We wanted them to be successful because they came from us. And I take a special interest in Steve Harvey because he comes from my hometown. Not only does he come from my hometown, he comes from the neighborhood that I actually grew up in. He went to the high school that was in my neighborhood. So that's what makes me take a special interest in this man because he's a hometown boy. He comes from my neck of the woods. So when I see him gain this fame and then walk all over everyone, you know, stepping on people's necks, doing people wrong to get to where he is, it makes me realize that he forgot where he came from. Now, a lot of people, like I said, under those videos that I've done, that Essie Berry has done, that Mary has done, and other YouTubers have done, a lot of people get in those comments and they blaze Mary. They say that she's a liar, that she needs to go somewhere and sit down. You know, what is she doing? But that that bothers me. Because what this woman is saying is, I only want what is owed to me. She doesn't even want the money that Steve is making now. She wants the money that was made when she was with him. Those years that she supported him. Those years that she was sleeping in a car with him. The years that she was going to gas stations with him and stealing gas. Those years. Steve is worth well more than 60 million now. But she's talking about the value of what he was worth when she was with him. So she basically is asking for those 16 years that she was with him and helping him rise to fame. Now, a lot of people say, she's not entitled to that. They're blasting her for speaking out, and they're saying that she's only doing this because he's famous now and she's jealous of him and Marjorie and all of that. When you listen to this woman's videos, y'all, and I'm just going to keep it real, that is not what she's saying. She's really hurt over Steve taking her child. People believe the narrative that Steve put out there, that she put that child on a plane and just sent him to Steve without Steve even knowing. And if you listen to her videos, that's not what happened. And I'm just going to leave it at that. That's not what happened. But because Steve is this multimillionaire, this celebrity, we don't even give this woman's story a chance. Instantly, we say that she's lying. Instantly, we say that nothing that she says could possibly be true. Y'all, what is wrong with us worshiping these celebrities like that? What is wrong with us where we don't think that they can do any wrong? I've watched other YouTubers do videos on celebrities who have been accused of crimes. And they go through this long dialogue about how they just know this person would not do that. Even if there are several people saying that, this celebrity did do this, that, and the other, people refuse to believe it. Their mind, because they have worshiped this celebrity for so long, their mind will not allow them to believe that that celebrity can do any wrong. Now, y'all, don't get me wrong. There are celebrities that I love, that I would kill to meet, and it is not these celebrities that are out here today. One celebrity in particular that I would give anything to meet, and y'all will be surprised. It's Gladys Knight. And the reason why I would love to meet her is I love her music. I love her style. I love how she's remained classy over these years. I love how her voice is even better than when she was younger. And I would be in awe of her. She is one celebrity that I've never gotten a chance to go see in person and just sit in the audience and bask in that beautiful voice. Another person who's not a celebrity, but who I would love to meet is Barack Obama. And no words need to be said about why I would love to meet them. Now, those are two of the only people that I believe that if I met, I may be a little tongue-tied or just in awe of them, but I don't worship them. You know, I just love, in Gladys Knight's case, her music, and I think she's one of the best singers. And Barack Obama, like I said, I don't even need to explain to you why I would love to meet them. But again, I don't worship them. Now, let me just show you the type of person I am. Just say a story came out about Barack Obama and they said he had did all this stuff and blah, blah, blah. And it was, Michelle accusing him of something. I wouldn't instantly say, oh, Michelle's lying. That bitch is something else. I would take a minute and try to understand what this woman is saying, you know, and at least give her the benefit of doubt. Same with Gladys Knight. If a story came out, like these white celebrities' kids do, just say one of her children had written a book and say all through their growing up, Gladys Knight was abusing them and she was treating them bad and, blah, blah, blah. I wouldn't say instantly that that child of hers was lying, that there's no possible way that my beloved Gladys Knight could do anything wrong. I would take a moment, read again, and think about what her child is saying, and at least give them the benefit of the doubt. And the reason why is because these people, these celebrities, are just people like we are, meaning that they can do some of the same things that the average person on the street does. Why, when they are accused of something, do we instantly believe them? And not only believe them, but defend them. Like I said, none of us are in their homes. We don't know what they did or did not do. But we believe them over that person is accusing them only because they are a celebrity, only because they have money. Think about that, y'all. Think about that in Mary Harvey's case. Mary says that Steve took her child. Mary says that when they divorced, they had several businesses, they had accumulated wealth together, but when she walked away, she did not share in that. Steve did give her some money, but it was a very small amount compared to what they had. You know, I did a video where I said when Tiger Woods' wife walked away, she walked away with a sizable chunk of Tiger Woods' money. And that woman was not around when Tiger Woods was becoming Tiger Woods. So why is it in Mary's case, if she helped Steve build those businesses, if she worked in those businesses and helped him keep those running for all those years that they were together, when he was on television, with the Steve Harvey show, you know, back in the day, and Mary was there beside him, why doesn't she get a fair amount of what she helped build? Now, people now are on the internet saying, well, he gave her $1 million. Well, he gave her 3 houses. And then you hear Mary's video and she says, well, one of the houses he basically put me out of. The other one, she had to sell, I guess, to have money in her pocket. And then one she gave to an assistant that got on the Ricky Smiley show and talked about her like a dog. You know, whether Mary is telling the whole truth, the complete truth, and nothing but the truth, only Steve and her knows. But what I've learned in my lifetime is where there's smoke, there's some fire. Now, it's interesting that this has now started to trickle out into the mainstream media. These accusations that Mary has made against Steve. So now we're starting to see stories all over the internet that Mary Harvey is again, coming out of the woodwork and talking about everything that went on between her and Steve Harvey. And she wants her damn money. She wants what was taken from her, y'all. Why do y'all just always side with these damn celebrities? You know, are you so starstruck that you can't take a minute and realize that this is just a human being just like you are, with faults and things that they've done wrong, people that they've done wrong? Steve Harvey is not a god, y'all. See him for what he is. From what I'm understanding and just all of the things that are starting to come out about Steve Harvey sounds like an arrogant asshole who walks over people and does anything that he can to be successful. And there's nothing wrong with, trying your best to be as successful as you can. But when you are destroying other people in your rise to fame, you're walking on, stumping on, cheating, and everything to someone else, that is not the right way to do it. And that's what Steve Harvey did to Mary. You know, people are saying that she's jealous and, she's bitter. She's not jealous and bitter because he's moved on to another woman. She's over that. She's jealous. I mean, she's angry because when he moved on, he left her with nothing. He left her with a pittance of what she helped him build. So think about it, folks. Say you were with the guy And when you met him, he had nothing. And when you broke up with him, he had $1 million. And when you were with him, you and him started businesses all over the country. You went and flew to those businesses and made sure they were working right while he was on the road, while he was doing his television show. You promised him, hey, you go out there and do your television show and your HBO comedy specials and your all of that. And I'll work on these businesses at home. Make sure that they're running smoothly, make sure employees are paid. I'll do the thing. And then you do that for 16 years. And then one day he decides, bitch, I don't want you no more. I've been cheating with this other woman by the name of Marjorie, and I'm moving on. And when he moves on, he takes everything. You know that he's worth 100 million, and when he leaves, he throws you 1 million and a couple houses. Takes your child when he goes and tells everybody you're a crazy bitch. How dare you ask me for anything else? Think about that, y'all. Think about it if it was happening in your life. If your man did this to you, you know, would you just slink quietly into the background, never think about your child again, never sit and think about how hard it was to build up those businesses that you and him started and get them successful? And then he not only takes your child, he takes everything. So if Mary was like running those businesses and he left, she was out of a job, you know? I don't know, y'all. This thing that a lot of people do, it never ceases to amaze me. This hero worship that we have of these celebrities. People need to stop and think sometimes, and just when people are accusing these celebrities of something, y'all need to stop and think. It's you, those ones that are worshiping those celebrities, and when they do something, you refuse to believe that they could possibly do this thing that they're being accused of. It's you that helps keep them in that godlike status. It's you that get on juries, and because you believe them, you refuse to even open your brain to the possibility that they could have done this crime that they've been accused of. And it's because you worship their money, and you worship their celebrity, and you worship their fame. You cannot see under all of that, there's just a person just like you. So when I look at Steve Harvey, I'm starting to see him. Well, I'm not starting. I've been seeing him is not such a good person. A lot of stuff is coming out about him, and it makes me kind of stop and say, you know what? Could he have done this to this woman? You know? Because people say that he has a nasty attitude, even though when he's on television he comes off as a lovable and country boy and all that persona that he's perfected now, giving advice to women about how to be with men. And I applaud the men out there who, when they started hearing about this book that Steve Harvey had written, telling women how to deal with the men. A lot of fellas out there were like, man, bullshit. They weren't feeling that book. And they told women back when that book first come out not to listen to Steve Harvey. But y'all listened, bought the book, worshiped the show. I've never watched Steve Harvey's show. I know my mother loves him. And I started telling my mom about some things that Steve Harvey has done and let her see some of this evidence that's out there against him. And my mother just told me last night, she said, Rochelle, you know what? From talking to you, I don't even like this motherfucker no more. Even my mother's eyes are open, you know? So, y'all, I'm going to get on out of here, but I'd like your opinion on, this whole thing with this $60 million lawsuit. Do you believe that Mary deserves her fair share of what Steve and her accumulated together? Not what Margie and Steve have. What I'm talking about, the value of what he was worth on the day that she and Steve divorced. Y'all need to do your homework on what happened between Steve and Mary. You'd be a little surprised as to how Steve cheated her and lied and hid businesses. Actually, Mary Harvey's story is pretty much like what was that movie where um, Whitney Houston played in and Angela Bassett? Right now, y'all, I can't think of the name of it, but I remember the character Bernadine. Remember in the movie when she talked about she had been with him 11 years and all this she had helped build, and he left her for a white woman, and she burned up all his shit out there in the car. Mary Harvey's story is pretty similar to that. Mary Harvey's story actually could be a Lifetime movie. You know, other celebrities have gone through, well, celebrity wives have gone through what Mary's going through right now. And like I said, I don't know all the details. I wasn't there, but there's some truth in what Mary is saying. Steve is not innocent. His hands are not clean when it comes to Miss Mary Harvey. And I just like to know what y'all think. Put it down in the comment section. Guys, I read all of your comments and I try to respond to all of them. And that's the end of the video. Thank you for taking the time to watch, and I will see you in the next one. You guys have a wonderful day now. Bye-bye.